Welcome to AARP, Arizona Hispanic Connection. Educate. Celebrate. Connect. Arizona Hispanic Connection.
Welcome to Arizona Barrio Stories and Latino USA TV. It's always a pleasure to have our next guest, David Parra Luna. He's with AARP, Arizona Hispanic Connection, Salud, Dinero y Amor. He brings us content that maybe we didn't think about, and he enlightens us with all this information. Today, no doubt, is going to be a good one. Welcome, David.
Thank you, Irma. My pleasure as always. A new series or at least a few shows on a new topic. And that topic is going to be the Fraud Watch Network. This is a nationwide effort by AARP to basically help folks deal with fraud and scams. And I want to say right from the get-go that the best weapon against fraud is awareness. How about that? Good weapon.
I'm excited about this. I told you off camera, I was really excited because I've heard of people that get hacked or, scammed into something. So this is something I think we all need to be aware of.
Definitely. So we'll talk we'll address a few areas, right? So the first one is going to be identity theft in general. And then we'll move into online, which is going to be the second, and then we'll move on from there. Let's see how the time allows us, right? But there's also tactics that the fraudsters use, so we need to know about them so that we are aware. In Spanish, there was el Chapulín Colorado. They had these antennas. So I usually use that as an example that our antenitas, right, need to be very, very tuned, right? So that when fraud shows up, when scams show up, they can right away, we can detect, right, the presence of the fraudster. So hopefully this information will fine tune, because one of the good things about this horrible thing is that most people are becoming more aware when that phone rings, when that text message hits, when that email comes, right? Is that kind of like your understanding?
Yeah. I mean, I look at my phone, I think, well, do I know that number? Yeah. Or, wait, I don't have an account with you guys, or, so, yeah. You got to be aware.
We don't pick up that phone, now with cell phones as we used to do with confidence. That's nothing on the other end would harm us. But today, we're always like, should I pick up that phone or not? Should I answer that email? Should I click on that link? So in essence, that's bad. But at the same time, it's good because we know fraud and scams are real. And so might as well just kind of know how to handle it. I'm sure that we cannot avoid it. We cannot eliminate the actions, but we can strengthen our ways to deal with it, right? And knowledge is power, and learning is the key. That's a phrase I learned in the 80s.
I like that.
Knowledge is power. Learning is the key. So there you go. Let's talk a little bit about a definition. What do we mean by identity theft, right? It's when someone steals your personal information, be it name, social security number, bank account information, and uses it to commit fraud or other crimes. That's basically a broad definition. They can open credit accounts in your name, drain your bank account, apply for government benefits in your name, and filing bogus tax returns. That's in general what we mean by ID theft. So it's basically stealing valuable personal details about you. And one important item is the social security number. That is going to be, as we move along, one of the big items that we have to, I usually tell people, be sure that your social security number is out there somewhere. honestly. So we need to take some steps to monitor where a fraud or scam may show up. That's what we're going to be covering as we develop this topic. So leaving wallets and phone laptops in our cars, mail in and unlocked mailbox, that could be vulnerabilities and impact. Fraudulent purchases, locked out of online access to accounts, that could happen, if they steal our credentials. Credit reports, affected credit scores, and ability to get loans, all that is in jeopardy when something like that happens. So I'm sure, off the air, we were listening to some phone calls that came on. Can you relate a little bit about those, to the audience about those calls? It's one of our friends who got those calls.
Calls like a scam could be maybe like one I had, a primo from Monterrey saying he had broken down and he was stuck. He needed money to fix his vehicle. And by mistake, I mentioned his name. He didn't volunteer that name.
Right.
He knew my name. Anyway, just those type of scams, or people might get a phone call that one of their relatives is being held captive.
Yes.
Or,
that's popular.
There's millions of type of things. We're going to shut your electricity off if you don't give us a payment. Different things, and they catch you off guard, and you're like, then you start thinking, well, is this something true?
Right, and we'll cover some of those. I am aware of, like you said, we call it the grandparent scam. When they call you and tell you that your grandkid is in trouble and that you need to send money to this number and so on. And so, when you hear something like that, of course, you get scared and you act out of fear and out of impulse to basically follow whatever directions they're telling you. So again, the best weapon against fraud is awareness. We need to be aware of all the possible scenarios and then react with calm, think about it, maybe call a friend, call a relative, hey, I got this call. Or sometimes easiest to say, can you give me your number and I'll call you right back, kind of thing. So again, you never know how it's going to show up, but we just need to be aware and alert, right?
Many of these people are ingenious in a way. Things that you don't think of that they try to catch you off guard.
Right.
And you're like, and then, you second guess yourself, well, could this be true? So.
Right. Let's go over some what we call low and high tech tips, right? Low tech and high tech. The first one is the mailbox, right? I have to believe that a lot of people still do the printed statements from the bank and stuff like that. So we obviously recommend that folks move on to online banking and whatever service that they can to move online, because the monitoring, it's easier and faster. But mailbox, do we have a locking mailbox, or is it just for anybody to just show up, right? That's important. Pay attention to the mailbox. Number 2, don't leave personal information visibly in the car, because that's obviously a call for the people who want to do bad to do it, because they're seeing it there. So that wallet, that purse, that computer, that phone, whatever, don't leave it visibly in the car. Another thing that is very important, I don't know if everybody has a shredder. I do. A shredder is important, because once a document comes to you, just shred. And sometimes you get a bunch of pages. If you trust that some of the pages don't have any personal information, those you might be able to recycle. But then anything that has your name, phone number, social security, obviously none will have your full number, but any personal items, shred. That is, and when in doubt, shred, right?
When in doubt, throw it out.
Yes. Check and monitor credit reports. This is more of a high tech tip. And we'll get into it. We'll do a show just on how to pull your credit reports. But it's always important, because if someone has used your social security number to get credit under your name, by pulling your credit reports online, you can actually review all the credit or the places where you have credit, either had credit or currently have credit, and you will be able to spot any that maybe the other person who's not supposed to be, who is not you, has started or opened. So just monitoring credit reports is important. And again, establishing online access to your accounts and monitor often. Some people don't trust the internet. I realize that, but believe it or not, it's safer. It's safer to bank online, to check your statements online. You can even ask the business, to send you a text message or to send you mostly a text message, maybe an email, telling you with every transaction that goes through your, say, credit card, to send you. I don't know if you're smiling. Do you have that?
I'm very cautious about what I put online, but it is a lot safer than, things that come through the mail.
Definitely. We do. Every time we spend something, the email or the text message come in and just, you right away, oh yes, of course, I went to load gas at this gas station or purchase this online, what have you. So it's important. So there's a lot of tools out there to at least bring some peace of mind to us, that our accounts, our monies, our credit cards, that they're safe. So again, let's use all of them, all of the good tools that are out there. Let's use them. Also, another item that is very important is public Wi-Fi, right? We all want to use free internet, and you go to different places like hotels, just airports. Many places have public Wi-Fi for free, and they'll see a lock as an icon there, shows you that you need a password for that. We don't recommend, especially if you have data, to use just a free Wi-Fi, especially to do anything that has to do with transactions, banking, purchasing. When you're going to be handling your account information, don't use free accounts. Use your own data for that, and keep it to a minimum, because it is very dangerous if it doesn't have, if it's not a secure account. And using sophisticated password. And at some point in these conversations, we'll talk about a password manager. I just started using mine. I am a happy camper. A lot of the worries, I used to have them in my computer, and used to take my computer whenever I travel because I was afraid someone would break into my house, etc. So now it's all on the cloud. So that's what password administrator or manager will do. It'll store everything on the cloud, and you have less things to worry about. It's very, very, or more secure. Nothing is 100%. But it's a lot better than to have it written down somewhere, right? So this would be, Irma, some of the tips that we would cover in this ID theft in general first show.
I am so happy that you said knowledge is power and to be aware. I know we have somebody that we know that might have been scammed. Thank you, David. I can't wait till next time. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Well, I hope you were taking notes. Some of these things are very, very important. Hopefully you have not been scammed or your identity has been taken. Write these things down. Knowledge is power. Thank you from Arizona Barrio Stories, Latino USA TV, and as usual, we will see you soon.